Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're a first-time viewer. I just want to say I have 10 subscribers, which is crazy to me. So if you are a subscriber, extra special thanks to you. Because I honestly didn't ever think anyone would really want to watch my budgeting videos. I watch a lot of other people's budgeting videos, but didn't think anyone would watch mine. So thanks for subscribing and coming back if you did come back. If this is your first time here, my name's Lydia. I'm a 30-something single woman living in a mid to high-ish cost of living area. I earn a pretty average income. So I'm by no means struggling, but I absolutely can't buy everything that I want to. And this channel is mainly about how I use frugality to maximize the income that I do have, or that's my goal for this channel anyway. I'm still pretty new. But I thought today we could just go over my January 2024 budget, and then you can go with me while I set up my budget for February. So let's just take a look. And if you are interested in my budget strategy or my budget spreadsheet, I'm not spending much time in this video doing that, but I do have a video from a month or so ago, I guess 2 months ago, where I go over my budget spreadsheet. So if you're interested, you can check out that video. But to start, in January, I was working with about $4,025 from my paycheck, $15 of side hustle money, and $89 of interest. And so that's the money that I kind of budgeted off of. So what did I spend all of this money on? First of all, I do have a mortgage. I have owned a condo for a little over 6 months now. And my mortgage every month is $1,428.45. So that's pretty much what it is every month. I'm waiting to see if they change it at all from property taxes, but it's been several months and they haven't made any adjustments. So I think we're good, but we'll see. I also am currently living with my parents, and I have a storage unit to hold all of my stuff, because while I own a condo, I'm still fixing it up, and so I'm paying to store my stuff, and that's $149 every month, which I obviously paid. In addition to my mortgage, since it is a condo, I have HOA fees, and I pay a little bit extra for condo owner insurance. So in total, that was another $184 this month, which again is standard. That's what it is every month. And then for food, I know it's unusual to have an exact food budget, and I do spend really, really close to that exact food budget. Again, currently I'm living with my parents, and whatever I have extra over food, so I buy groceries sometimes I eat out, and anything extra I pay back to my parents. $200 is a little bit more than I was paying when I was living on my own, but last time I was living on my own was before grocery expenses went way up, so I expect when I move out again, I'll probably have to up those food expenses. The exciting news is I do have a firm plan to move in the week before President's Day, so this month. That's the goal. At minimum, I'm going to be moving my stuff in and canceling my storage unit. We'll see if I actually live there, because there's a few things I might need to do. I have internet on here because several years ago I did live by myself and I paid for internet, and I just never took it off my budget. But my parents haven't been asking me to pay for internet. They actually haven't asked me to pay for food or rent. They've been really, really great since I moved back to my hometown. And that has helped my budget a lot, especially when I did buy a condo that needed renovations instead of something I could move out of. It allows me to not live there while I'm fixing things up. Renovations is probably too strong of a word. But if you are interested, I could do some moving vlogs this month, or a really brief condo renovation fixing up video, what I started with. So if you're interested, let me know. I probably will try to do at least one, but we'll see how far my video editing skills can get me. So after all my fixed expenses, and these are the things that I expect to change every month, but I still budget the same amount of money every month. So my utilities have been kind of high because it's winter. I budgeted $85 for my utilities, but altogether with my Electricity and gas, I paid $122.42. My water and sewer and trash is all folded into my condo fees. For my cell phone, this is one place I went really over budget this month. I spent $40. I budgeted $40, which would cover my normal cell phone bill. However, I decided to switch cell phone providers, so I had to pay upfront for 3 months service, and then I paid a bill for my previous cell phone. So in total, I spent $85.89, which actually puts me in the red for this month. So next month I'll have to make that up. I'm switching to a prepaid plan, and the best rates are going to be if I pay a year in advance. So right now I'm doing 3 months as kind of a trial, and then if I like it in 3 months, I'm going to have to pay another big chunk of change. So next month I'm going to have to budget a lot more. But it's one of those things where if I spend a little bit of money up front, I can save a lot of money over time, which is why I spent that much. And I think it will pay off. Transportation is another place where I went a little over, but for transportation costs, I did have a good buffer already in there. So a couple things happened. I think I had to fill up on gas. I did one more gas fill up than I normally do, but I also got a flat tire, and it didn't cost too much. They did have to replace it. They couldn't patch it, unfortunately, but my tire was under warranty. So I wasn't charged for the tire, only the labor, but even so, that put me more than I had budgeted. But again, that's one reason I do this part of my budget. It's kind of like a mixture between my monthly budget and a sinking fund. So I still have over $400 left as backup for the next time something wrong happens with my car. So for personal care, this is another place I went a little bit over, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I budgeted $68 and spent $78.27. But again, previous months I haven't spent the whole thing, so I had that money in my rollover budget to spend. I think the main thing is I bought more Clarisonic brush heads. I went to replace brush heads, found out Clarisonic had gone out of business, so I decided to stock up because who knows how long I'll be able to get brush heads. So I bought enough to last me another couple of years, and in the meantime I'll look into something else. People are all over the place about whether Clarisonics and physical exfoliation are good for your skin. My skin seems to like it, and I don't want to have to buy a new exfoliation device just because I can't get the brush heads anymore, because I've had my Clarisonic for about 10 years now, and it's still going strong. So kudos to them. Finally, we have household, and I spent nearly $100 on household things, especially as I'm starting to get sight of actually moving in. I can't remember what I bought that I categorized as household. I think I might have bought some more Tupperware, and I did buy some bins to serve as like extra pantry storage space because my condo doesn't have a pantry. So little things like that. I also spent more money on home maintenance, and that's down below. And finally, in my expenses category, I have luxuries. So these are things that I just like to remind myself I absolutely don't need, and I'm lucky to have. So I just separate them out a little bit. So I budgeted $35 for entertainment, and this includes like streaming services and if I buy music or something. And I had about $72 rolling over from previous months, and I spent $43.25. So again, more than I budgeted, but I had it in my back pocket. I'm hoping the next month I'm not like spending more than I budgeted in everything, but I think it's just holdover from the holidays. I'm still kind of like, spend, this is fun. I'm going to spend a lot of money. But that's what it is. Every month I budget $50 for professional development. This month I spent $30 for a professional, like a membership to a professional organization that I'm a member of. It's time to renew my dues. So that was that. And I do have quite a bit of extra money in there, which I think I'm going to be attending a couple of conferences this year, which my work pays for quite a bit of it, but if I exceed the amount that they give me every year, I will have money to pay for that without it hurting my other budget categories. And finally, we have my Mad Money budget. This is just things that I'm buying for fun and that maybe I don't want to categorize more granularly because I like having a pretty streamlined budget every month, where I don't have to change a ton of stuff. So I budgeted $125. I spent about $70 just of things that I wanted. And finally, in the savings category, the first thing up is home maintenance. I budgeted $429.07. I actually sent $518.27 to that category. I'm pretty sure this is what I had budgeted. And then interest. I've been alternating between putting my bank interest towards home maintenance and a new car. It looks like this month it went toward my home maintenance money. And then I spent $400, which now that I'm actually spending on home maintenance, I'm trying to decide whether I want to keep it in the savings category. But I don't know. The hope is eventually I'm going to be saving towards home maintenance more often than I'm spending on home maintenance. And I think this was a rug, which I could have put in household, but I had the money for it on home maintenance. So I expect this month and maybe next month I'm just going to be spending a lot out of those two budgets as I set up a new place. The next thing that I put money towards savings was a new car. I budgeted $210, saved $210, and now I have about $9,800 for when I have to replace my car. Right now, I have all my savings sitting in a high yield savings account, and I'm trying to decide if I want to move some of it more towards investing. My car is 10 years old, so I think, well, it's more than 10 years old. It's like 12 or 13 years old at this point. So I'm trying to decide whether it makes sense to invest the money for it, where I might get a higher return, or if I should just keep it in my high yield savings account. So if anybody has advice for that, because I don't have plans on buying a new car right now. It's working just fine. And as you can see, I haven't been spending a whole lot on maintenance, looking at how much I have in my transportation budget. But I don't know. So far, I haven't been willing to take the risk, because if I do get into an accident and need to replace my car right now, I'd like to have the money really easily accessible. Anyway, the final thing that I actually saved towards this month was vacation. I don't have any vacations planned per se. I just know this year I'm probably going to take at least one trip. It might be for a concert, it might be extending a professional conference. I don't know, but I budgeted $100 toward that, and now I have about $400 towards travel or vacation when that opportunity comes. In my savings, I also have a line for emergency fund, which right now I have a little over $16,500 in there. For me, this is a little bit more than 6 months expenses. If you watched my 2024 goals, which I put out earlier this week, you'll know that one of my goals for 2024 is to increase this to 7 months, which it would be $17,676, based on the things that I anticipate spending on, even if I have to really curb my spending. So that's my goal. But this month I didn't put any money towards that goal. I also have a Life Happens fund, which is intended for things that I know are going to go wrong, that I don't want to necessarily take out of an emergency budget, but I don't know what they are enough to have a other budget for, if that makes sense. But that's my rundown of my budget in January. So I did spend a lot more money than I had budgeted for, but I had that money available in like my sinking / rolling budgets. So the only place I'm in the red is the cell phone. But I kind of suspected it would be like that. So now that I know how January went, I'm going to go ahead and set up for February, which I was late doing this, so it already is February. So I'm just going to make a copy of this January spreadsheet. then rename it to be for February. So this is in January 2024. It's now February 2024. And then I can update these. Updating this allows my budget to auto-populate from my transactions tab over here. So this year, February has 29 days. Then we can see that there have been some changes, and actually this didn't update correctly. I wonder why. One second. After updating the dates, I also have to update last month, and this will pull in all of my rollover budgets and things. And now we can look at what I have to spend this month. So I created a copy. Now I just need to rename this. It's no longer January 2024, it's February 2024. Then to pull up the information from last month's sheet, this needs to turn into my last month's spreadsheet was January 2024. And we need to pull in any transactions from my transactions page that I entered between February 1st and this year. February has 29 days. Okay, so now everything is updated. This year, February has 29 days. Okay, and now everything is updated. Okay, so this is the money that I earned last month, and this is what I have to budget. So for my paycheck, with the new tax situation, my paychecks have slightly increased a little bit, but I also did go in and adjust some of my retirement savings. So this isn't what it's going to be every month. But I earned $4,061.04 in take-home income this in January to budget for February. And then I earned $377 from side hustles, mostly plasma donation and a few like surveys that I got payouts for. So if you watched my 2024 goals video, you know that I need to earn about $375 in side hustle money every month in order to make all of my financial goals happen. So I just barely did it this month. It's going to be hard to hit that every month, I'm going to be honest. So we'll see. I need to start doing something besides just donating plasma because I only earned this much from a new donor bonus. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to step up my game. We'll see. Okay. So it looks like I have about $397 to budget, but I think I'm definitely going to have to make adjustments. So my mortgage, it's the same every month. The storage unit is the same. Condo fees are the same. For food, since I am intending on moving out this month, I'm going to up that to $250. It's going to stay at $250 probably for several months to get a lay of the land, unless I find out really quickly that $250 isn't enough to feed myself when I don't have my parents supplementing me. I also know that I'm going to start paying internet bills, and I estimate it's going to be about $67 for internet. Utilities, I'm going to leave at $85, which I already know I'm going to pay more than $85 in utilities this month, but I still have about $177 hanging out there. Cell phone, okay, I'm $9.74 in the red, and I know it's going to cost me $180. So what I need to do is $180 divided by, I need to save in February, March, and April. So divided by 3, plus $9.74 to get myself out of the red. So I need to budget about $70 towards my cell phone this month. Well, actually, I think I need to budget a little bit more because I still have to pay my last bill. So I'm actually going to budget like 100. And well, then we'll see how we do next month. That's a lot to budget for my cell phone bill, but it's expensive sometimes to switch providers. Transportation, we're going to leave the same for now. Personal care, we're also going to, I think I'm going to decrease it a little bit. Household, 125. I feel like I should increase that since I am going to be moving this month. I'm going to have to do, I have plenty of toilet paper. The house came with toilet paper and I didn't realize it, so I bought more toilet paper when I started doing renovations. But like things like paper towels and stuff. So I think I'm actually going to put it at 175, which I know that's not going to cover everything from the house, but I do still have some money in my home maintenance budget that was budgeted expressly for this type of thing, and getting my condo ready. So we'll stick with 175. Entertainment, we have set at 35, and I think that should be okay for this month. Professional development is always 50, and Mad Money is always 125. So new car, 100, vacation, 100, which leaves me with, if I just delete this, then up here I can see how much money I have left to budget. So I'm going to put $607.62 into budgeting towards home maintenance. And we'll see. So again, with my 2024 goals, I want to make at least one somewhat major repair to my condo this year, as well as end the year with about $5,000 in this budget, just as like an extra emergency fund. So for this month, I'm putting a lot of money towards it because I know I'm going to be moving and wanting to buy like furniture and little things, just everything that happens when you're moving, which is one reason I put so much in my household budget as well. So what I'm going to try to do is household, like totally frivolous things, as well as like the things that I need to keep my home running month to month. And home maintenance is going to be the things like appliances or flooring. I still have a few outstanding bills from my, again, renovation is too fancy of a word. I don't feel like I made any improvements that went to home renovation, but I still have a few outstanding things that I'm going to be paying for this month. So I expect this to go down, maybe dramatically. I think it will go down by at least half, probably more, because I would like to buy a new washer and dryer before long. But anyway, that's my budget for February. I'm really looking forward to moving in and settling in and having my budget be a little bit less crazy. I feel like the past 3 or 4 months I've been spending like crazy. And then even since before then, I was spending it felt like I was spending like crazy on the house. It's just the last few months I've been spending like crazy on everything, and I need to start reining myself in more. But we'll see how I do this month. If you want to see how I do this month, stay tuned, and I'll release another video at the end of this month, beginning of next month. And also stay tuned or subscribe if you're interested in seeing moving vlogs, and a condo reveal maybe. I'm still going back and forth whether I feel comfortable doing a tour, like an actual tour, because something feels weird to me about everyone knowing the layout of my house. Maybe it's really paranoid of me, but we'll see. Let me know if you're even interested in that content from me. Like I said earlier in the video, I think I'll try at least one like vlog type video of myself moving in, but I don't know, even just recording these screen capture videos and the overhead videos of me with my planner, even that I feel like is way above my actual talent, and getting the lighting right even on the overhead videos is hard. But I'm willing to try, and we'll see. All right, I hope you have a good day, and hopefully I'll see you next time. If you watch the whole thing, you're a champ.